Okay, so really quick, well, as quick as I can make it, I want to talk about the bus system here in Cuenca. It is a lot more robust than, let's say, Salinas, Santa Elena. There's plenty of buses in Santa Elena, don't get me wrong, but the system is different. It's very organized here. All the buses are uniformed, and you can use a Moovit app, to pretty much track your progress, figure out what stop you need to be at, and which direction you need to be going, when you need to leave, where you need to walk, pretty much everything you can think of. Now, the version I'm going to show here is the free version. My other phone actually has the paid version, which doesn't have any ads. So depending on how you sign up for this app, if you want to do the paid version, you get a free trial for like 7 days, or maybe less than that. But there are several more features, like being able to view your entire route ahead of time, and no ads. There's plenty of pop-up ads in this app if you use the free version, FYI. But let's say you're somewhere like Feria Libre here in Cuenca, which is a huge Mercado shopping area, and you want to go to a Kiwi. So you type in, a destination, and let's say I say Kiwi. I select Kiwi, and there's more than one. There's a Kiwi and there's Mega Kiwi. So it'll kind of ask you, like, if you type in Kiwi, it'll bring up multiple options. So you click on the one you want to go to. It'll find your results, and it'll tell you which bus line or train, if the train is closer. So Feria Libre has both Tranvia and buses that stop in that area. We don't have a Tranvia card yet. We actually need to get one. We do have the regular bus system card though. And the buses are 35 cents per ride. So let's say I wanted to use the bus. Click on the route and it'll show you. So if you have the paid version, you're able to click on this route view and it'll zoom in and show you the whole route even before you select it. So what you do is you hit start and it'll tell you where you need to go. So depending on where you actually are, for privacy purposes, I didn't put in where I was because it would show where we live. But if you're in a location and you hit start, it's going to go by exactly where you are. So it's going to tell you how far you need to walk to get to that stop that you need to be at. Here's one little issue. Your orientation may be off because you may think that you're on the correct side of the street to get the right bus and you're on the opposite side. And when you get on the bus, if you look on the app follows you on the route. You'll see that you're going away from your route instead of following it. And you need to get off at the next stop and get on the other side of the street and take that same line the opposite direction. That's happened to us like 3 or 4 times. And one time, it was really annoying because we went way out of the way before we realized that we were definitely on the wrong side. Like I said, let's say you're somewhere in Feria Libre, right? And you want to go to Kiwi. Well, it may tell you you need to walk 6 minutes and it'll show you the route that you need to walk to get to whatever that stop is. Now, like I said, it'll tell you where the stop is, but when there's a stop, there's always another stop across the street. They have the same name. So you have to just kind of make sure you have the right one. And honestly, from what our experience is, that's going to be like a trial and error, and knowing exactly which direction we're going to always know which side of the street we need to be on. Even though the map shows you where you should be and which direction, it has little arrows on the route that shows what direction the bus is going to be going, still ended up on the wrong side of the street. So it can be tricky, but it is very helpful. Like, don't get me wrong, this app is very helpful. And what you would do from that point is you would walk, and like it shows you here, walk 4 minutes to Avenida Amazonas, and you would catch the L18 bus. The numbers are right on the front of the buses. And some stops actually have signs that show when the buses are coming and which number. Those are usually like the big stops. So like there's one in Centro, there's quite a few of them around. It's going to show you what bus to get on And if you need 2 buses, it'll show you the bus that you need to get on after a certain stop. So it'll say like, okay, once you get to this stop, you need to get on, you may need to go across the street sometimes, but then you need to wait for the L100. And it'll usually tell you around what time that bus should be coming, which really makes this useful, because if it doesn't, then you know you may be on the wrong side of the street. Now, while you're on the buses, most of the buses have like an intercom system that tells you what stop you're coming up to. The app also follows you. Now, sometimes it can be a little slow. So you may be at a stop and it might be 4 or 5 stops behind, and all of a sudden it catches up and it's like, your stop is next. And oh my goodness, I need to hurry and get off. Most of the buses also have Wi-Fi that you can use. I tried to hook it up once, but it didn't work for whatever reason. But it is available. If you have the app, you can keep up with where you are. You can also share your location with other people. So which is really important. And I'm not sure if that's a paid feature or not. But you can do it. So like, let's say LaShawna's somewhere and I know she's on the bus. She can share her exact route with me, so I know where she is while she's on the bus. The app will also buzz and tell you when you're like 2 stops from your stop and when your next stop is coming up, because the buses don't always stop at every stop unless someone needs to get off. Because if there's no one at that stop, the bus might just keep going if no one hits the buzzer to stop there. So you may have to warn the driver to stop at the next stop sometimes. But for the most part, we really haven't had to do that, I think maybe twice. Then the app will also tell you how far you need to walk from that stop to wherever your destination is. And it'll show you a route, just like Google Maps. It doesn't do like step by step, like turn here. You just need to kind of follow it on your map. But otherwise, this app is really useful. Like I said, you might get turned around a little bit, and there was a time where it was telling us we were at the right stop, and the bus we were waiting on, like we waited for like a half hour and the bus never showed up. A bunch of other buses did, and we honestly just think that the app was wrong about that stop. Like that bus wasn't coming there. We had to go somewhere else to catch the bus we needed. So it is a little bit of a learning curve with it, but for the most part, it is very useful, and it's gotten us all over the place because we've ridden the heck out of the bus. Now, we wasted some fares. We wasted some fares by going the wrong direction, and we had to get off and get back on. But we put enough money on our cards so that like we would give ourselves enough cushion to learn how to do this, because we knew we were going to mess up. Like we knew we were going to mess up at some point. So we put plenty on there to give us that little bit of leeway. I think next time we recharge our cars, we'll have a better idea and we won't make that many mistakes. But the bus system here is great. It really is. They're everywhere, and they get you where you need to go. It might take a little longer than a taxi, but it's certainly a lot cheaper. So hope that helps. Get the Moovit app if you're in Cuenca, and it's also available in a bunch of other big cities. So it's a very useful app. And personally, I have the paid version, and it's only like, I think it ended up being $12 or $16 for 6 months, like total. So it's worth it. It's worth it to me. So yeah, hope that helps. Check it out. Thanks for watching.